Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Causing Dawn here. I have a question for you. Camping. Yes, camping. The infamous, notorious method of choice for noobs who refuse to get good at the game. Or is it? And is it actually a legitimate strategy? Or or is it really a tactical controlling of a certain point? That's what I have to ask you. And if playing in the background is a game that I was recently involved in. It was a game of regular SWAT on Pegasus 2. One of the maps that, for all the people that I've talked to, is rather notoriously disliked. The general consensus that I find is people just don't like that map because they feel like it's stupid. They feel like it's one of the worst maps in the franchise. Anyway, you can tell me what you think in the comments about about what I'm saying. I'm probably being an ignorant little fuck that doesn't know shit and is ungrateful to 343. Fuck off. Anyway, but this game that's playing in the background, I started out the way I normally do. I'm overly aggressive, which anybody who regularly watches my videos knows this from watching any gameplay that I have in the background. I'm notoriously too aggressive. I don't know when to slow down, when to take it easy, when to force a little bit of teamwork. I've been working on changing that. I've watched a couple videos by Luke TheNotable. I'm gonna he's an amazing guy. He does videos to improve his viewers' Halo gameplay, and quite frankly, his LTN method is what you're going to see in this game. When I go 0-5 and I look at my KD, realize that I'm really far behind, and I take action. In this case, it'll be taking up a defense. It'll be taking up a power position in security, because I know that's where 90% of everyone will run through at some point. If you want to know more about this LTN method and some ways to stay calm while gaming, which I clearly lack that ability to some degree, I'm going to leave links in the description as well as an annotation on the end screen to Luke TheNotable's channel and a couple of his videos, kind of the source material where I got these techniques that he passed on. So go ahead, check it out. Drop a comment on his videos. Tell them that Causing Dawn sent you. Anyway, let's get down to it. So at some point, you have to realize that rushing headlong into a fight is a bad idea, especially if you're getting killed over and over and over again, and you're starting to get pissed. It's sort of a mini cycle, That is where I get to the point that I have to get my head back in the game, cool off, get my thumbs and the sticks on the same page again, and just overall get back into how I play Halo. You're gonna notice that I crouch in security for a while, and I'm moving around, and I have my gaming headphones on, and so I can hear everything as a surround sound type of environment. So I can literally predict where somebody's going to come running out from which turn and be prepared for them. So first of all, we have to start with the basic definition of camping, which is when you stay in a single spot without moving for a prolonged period of time. And something that I was doing as I did this is I had a spot that I returned to, but I was crouched. I was using stealth to my advantage, but I kept checking the angles and checking all the different spots, trying to be ready for whatever would come, and maybe head it off before it came to a point where I'd have to just sit in a single spot. And in this fashion, you can see that I get to, I think I get to a frenzy. So anyway. And like that, we get the team back in control. Somebody finally offs me, but I really can't be bothered. I got my first frenzy, like, ever. That's how bad I suck at Halo. Yeah. and my team is dominating again, so I can try and play a little more liberally. Unfortunately, at the time I was thinking, this is what works, this is what I'm going to do for this game, so I kind of just stayed in the security, but oh well. Anyway, the guy that capped me 4 of the 5 times that I died to start with, and then when I finally took my little bit of action to turn everything around, I was on top of his ass. He ends up messaging me, calling me a camper, and I'm thinking, no, it's possible, but it's still not possible. So, I guess the question is, how do you guys define a camper? Because I think I have broken almost every definition. Yes, I'm in a single area of the map, but I'm still moving around. I'm still reacting to what's happening. I'm proactively trying to get kills instead of waiting for them to come to me. I'm just playing slightly less aggressive, and I'm giving my team a foothold to try kind of climb up ahead of the other team. It's a pain in the butt. So, at what point does camping go from quote unquote legitimate strategy, as in the fucking meme, to an actual tactical maneuver? And I think I was on the ladder of that, where it was a tactical hold. I was in a position where I was in a position where I could force my team to work with itself, per se, because everyone was basically running around headlong. And by going on this spree and pissing everyone off, I was drawing everybody to me. I was bait, in a sense. So that meant that the rest of my team knew where to let people go in order to get some free kills to mop up, But that whole part of the debate aside, I just want to say that I got into another game, as in the next game. That was game number 6 in a row that we won. That I was in, when I finally was forced to slow down, use a little bit of logic. In this case, it meant holding down a tactical position. I'd had issues my first game of the day, and I went 0-4 to start, and I had to pull a LTN moment, and it was basically following my teammates around and almost using them as a human shield, but kind of cleaning up their shit, kind of trying to force a little bit of teamwork. Because I'm solo queued, I have no communication with any of these peeps. And that happened to work that time, but it comes down to how viable the option was. So we get into this next game, and it's Combat Evolved SWAT on Eden. And I think I'll show a little bit of it. And different maps just have different metas, So in the case of Pegasus 2, it's a question of what gun you're using at the time. What type of meta you have. For example, that first game that we played, it was DMR SWAT, so it was a single shot. It was feasible to use one of your teammates as an escort of sorts and force them to work with you. Now, when you get into the battle rifle SWAT, you have 3 shots to a round, so potentially you could sweep and get 3 kills with 1 trigger pull. And at that point, it's not feasible anymore. So you have to take a new approach, and in my case, I decided to just I hate to use the term make them come to me, because that was a side effect, but essentially I was making them come to me by pissing them off. So let me know in the comments, what do you think is the definition of camping, and at what point does it go from a legitimate tactic where you could squat in a spot, especially if you know somebody's about to come around a corner. It's really fun to do that and just stealth it, but what point does it go from a legitimate tactical maneuver to just fucking cancer? And also let me know if you have any stories, any encounters with campers. Let me know. The cancerous kind, the kind that pick a spot, the most overpowered spot in the entire fucking map, where they can literally survive the entire fucking game and go 29-0. Yeah, those fuckers. Um, and if you even remotely liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. And as always, be sure to subscribe and check out Luke TheNotable. Stay awesome. And this is Causing Dawn signing off. Have a good one, everyone.